Alright, no script for today's video. Most of my videos aren't really scripted because it's really just talking about my true opinions on the game and not really just writing down what I want to say overall. And it's just all coming into my mind and, on the fly. So today we got a Jazz and the Rockets recap video. It was a pretty great game overall. I didn't watch most of the game, but I did watch most of the fourth quarter, and that was really where the game really just started to take off. Jalen Green had a pretty great game. Christian Wood offensively was pretty great. Garrison Matthews, KPJ, and KJ Martin, who we will talk about later. But yeah, we got a recap video talking about the Jazz versus the Rockets. So if you like video, drop a like down below, press the subscribe button, I'd appreciate it. We got another Rockets video today. They've been pretty bad, 15 and 46 as of right now. But we do got some content today because it was a pretty close game. So let's get into the box score. Jae'sean Tate, we'll start off with him because I think he got injured. I don't know when he got injured, but it was during this game. Yeah, so it says Tate won't return to the game against the Jazz because he has a left ankle soreness. So in replace of him, it was Kenyon Martin Jr., and he pretty much thrived in that role. I know we'll talk about him later because he's off the bench, but Tate had 9 points and an assist in 11 minutes, 3-6 from the field and 3-5 from 3. Tate is finally taking the three-pointer, and it's looking like he's pretty comfortable taking the three. Now, over the season, he's averaging around 30% from the three, which is pretty horrible, but overall, he's going to be taking that three moving forward. I think instead of Jae'Sean Tate starting, it could be KJ because he is a better floor spacer than Tate. And looking at right now, KJ shooting at around 34% from the three, which is pretty much a 4% difference from Jae'Sean Tate. So overall, KJ Martin could be the move at 3 and then Jae'Sean Tate at the 4, which could be on and off, because KJ and Tate are both sophomore players and, with not a lot of experience in the starting lineup, with KPJ and Jalen Green being pretty young and Christian Wood being the only vet on the team, in the starting lineup. I think it would be pretty difficult for the Rockets to get started on offense. With Eric Gordon and Garrison Matthews on the floor, it just guarantees that the Rockets have some sort of veteran experience on the floor. And, with Garrison Matthews being able to shoot the three and Eric Gordon having that veteran experience, I think it's going to be a little more difficult if we decide to start KJ and Tate with Christian Wood, KPJ, and Jalen Green. But Christian Wood, 43 minutes and scored 24 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, and a block. Had a huge buzzer beater at the fourth quarter to really just send it into overtime, but we did still lose. But Wood was pretty great today. Pretty great offensively, 8 of 13 from the field and 4 of 7 from 3. Free throws, obviously the huge weakness for Wood's game, 4 of 8 from the free throw line. It's just pretty unacceptable at this point. He links his free throw shooting to really just being a mental thing, and if it's really a mental thing, it should be pretty easy to fix, especially if it's something that you think you can fix pretty easily because, mental things, you got to think about it. But, Christian Wood hasn't really shown too much improvement from the free throw line. So moving forward, I don't know how much mental awareness he's going to have for the free throw, and I don't even know if it's a mental thing overall. He's been practicing free throws after the game, during practice, even before the game, and I don't think it's really helping. So I think it's just him being able to really just practice free throws every day, and it's just really a thing he can practice. So Garrison Matthews, 41 minutes, had 14 points, 6 rebounds. He had a huge miss in overtime, and it was an error ball. I don't know what he was thinking, but it was a horrible shot overall. 3 of 9 from the field and 3 of 8 from 3. We all know what Garrison can provide, 3-point shooting and defense, but that's really just it. 0 assists and 0 turnovers this game. No defensive stats, but it's Garrison Matthews. KPJ, 40 minutes, had 16 points, 12 assists, 2 steals, and a block. Great game overall from KPJ. 6 of 14 from the field, pretty inefficient. 1 of 6 from 3 and 3 of 8 from the free throw line, but he did have 12 assists and 2 steals and a block. So he was able to really just affect the game in other ways, like I said in previous videos, but offensively it wasn't too great today. So hopefully he can come back. He was battling an injury, I want to say, before this, and he didn't really play too much, but I will give him some slack this game, but he definitely has to improve the offensive efficiency. So finally in the starting lineup, we had Jalen Green with 27 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds, 1 steal in the block, 4 turnovers, but he had 11 of 16 from the field and 4 of 9 from 3. Green is finally finding his rhythm on offense, and it's really just showing on the court because he's just more comfortable taking the ball and handling the ball on offense. And his ability to move off ball is going to be something very valuable for the Rockets because, you know, with KPJ being a ball-dominant player, Jae'Sean Green being able to run the off ball and just get open, you know, run off screens, curl off screens, and just cut is going to be something valuable for the Rockets offense. And even on ball, Jae'Sean Green is actually pretty great, you know, 11 to 16 from the field, had a pretty great block today against, I think it was Mike Conley or Jordan Clarkson. I forgot which one was it, but he's finally playing some pretty great defense, and his on-ball defense is pretty underrated too. Had a lot of stops today on people like Mike Conley and Jordan Clarkson. So Jae'Sean, he's finally finding his rhythm. The last 10 games, he's averaging around 16 points per game, 2 assists, 2 rebounds on 44% from the field and 36% from 3. So finally, Jae'Sean Green is finding his rhythm. No one on the bench is too noteworthy except for KJ Martin, who had 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 assists. Also threw in a block and a steal on 8 of 14 from the field and 4 of 8 from 3. So KJ in overtime was pretty horrible, missing a lot of open threes. But during the game, he got a lot of run because Jae'Sean Tate was injured. So with the extended run, KJ really just thrived. And I think moving forward, he could be a good look at a starter at maybe the 3 or the 4. You can kind of change him with Jae'Sean Tate because they do play the exact same positions. It just really depends on who you want to really just favor on defense. You know, Jae'Sean could play the 4, guarding some pretty big guys like Julius Randle, but KJ could do the same thing too. So the Rockets, they played pretty well today against the Jazz, who, this was a pretty embarrassing win. You know, a win is a win, but against a bottom feeder team against the Rockets, it's just a pretty bad outlook for your team, especially with Donovan Mitchell scoring 37 points and Rudy Gobert scoring 27 against a team that had, you know, their rookie leading the scorers right now in 27 points. So, I mean, Donovan Mitchell was absolutely killer this game. Donovan Mitchell with 37 points, 10 assists, 3 steals, and 6 turnovers, but he was pretty much clutch for the Jazz late in the fourth. They really needed what he was doing, and he really just provided. Same thing with Mike Conley, who we will talk about. But yeah, I mean, this Jazz team, the starting 5 is looking pretty solid. Now, if we're talking about them being in the playoffs, I'm not too trusting for them because, you know, Donovan Mitchell, if he goes down, then, you know, the offense really just stagnates. But with him today, they really just thrived, you know, with Rudy Gobert, 27 points, 17 rebounds. He pretty much thrived with Donovan there. Mike Conley with 15 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds and 4 steals. Bojan Bogdanovic with 18 points and 5 rebounds, and Royce O'Neal with 9 points and 9 rebounds. So pretty great game from the Rockets overall, but they couldn't just get it done. We do verse the Denver Nuggets in 2 days from now. So on Friday, we verse the Nuggets. Hopefully we can pull out a dub. If we don't, it really just helps with the tanking. So either way, it's a win-win. So good job from the Rockets today. Hopefully we look to see Jae'Sean Green have a great game next game. So that's the video. I'm JTC, and I'm out. Peace.